With historic beginnings as one of the UK's first kart racing circuits, the Rye House Kart Raceway has seen huge investment and development over the years, and it is today firmly established as one of the UK's foremost karting centres. Over the season, Rye House runs 6 junior hire kart championships, 4 of them aimed at 8 to 11-year-olds, with 2 for drivers aged between 12 and 15. And now the best of the best from all 6 championships have been invited back for a special Champion of Champions race here at the end of the season, the Junior Shootout. For many here tonight, their way into competitive motorsport initially came from a first taste of karting on the smaller junior track, just adjacent to the main circuit.
I started on the little track, down there was my first race, and I loved it, and I've been coming here since. I done it for my birthday and I really enjoyed it. So then when I got old enough, I got on here and I've been doing quite well since.
For others, their desire to race karts came more organically through family connections with motorsport.
I think I've been racing since I was 4, that's how long I can remember. My granddad used to be a racing driver and my dad's father used to have an obsession with cars, so it's sort of hardly wired into my DNA.
And Jack's racing grandfather was here to see him contesting tonight's end-of-season shootout.
I'm a chap called Bill Cowling. I used to race in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Tubman's Formula 3. Great sport, won a lot of races, a lot of lap records. But he could beat me in the kart. But I mean, here it is so professionally done, and they're so careful with danger and speed and things like that. They watch the kids very carefully. I mean, we were a bit wild when we started. Safety wasn't the same as it is now. And I think the kids learn much better the way that we did. But it's great. I'm really chuffed the way Jack's got on.
The full-size circuit features a challenging mix of fast, sweeping bends, tight hairpins and S-bends, and is popular among drivers, as Elliot Keeve explains.
I think it's a really good track. I like how it has like sharp turns, quite just long straights and everything, so you can really get that speed. Normally the races are like 20 minutes to half an hour, but then tonight it's only 10 to 12 minutes, so it's difficult because you really have to go for it straight away.
Elliot's father, Mark, is head of the company behind Amris Recruiting Software, one of several corporate partners who have helped Rye House to put this event together.
We love Rye House and I was delighted about help and just a little bit of sponsorship for tonight. Clearly the weather could have been a little bit better, to say the least, but it does even things out. It means it's all about the driver and not about the kart. The great thing about these young series, or the series for the young people, is it's about learning to lose. And it's been great. I mean, Elliot's first year, sure, obviously a little bit of tears, but then he got used to it and he goes out there, he enjoys it. It doesn't matter whether he comes first or whether he comes last, he has fun, and that's what it's all about.
More than 40 drivers were taking part in the Rye House Junior Shootout, the format of which saw a series of qualifying heats, with each driver taking part in 2 of those races. Based on their combined results, drivers' points were then added up, with the top 15 going through to the grand final, and everyone else getting another chance to race, either in the B final or the C final. And clearly one of the biggest challenges for the drivers tonight was going to be the weather.
You've got to make sure you don't let it drift too much, because when it drifts, it slows down the engine. You've got to do it smoothly, but without going off the track.
Today, on the straight and the corners, it was really big puddles, so it was really hard because it all gets over you and you're all soaked and it gets into your visor.
Well, I've only raced in the wet once, so I wouldn't say it's that fun, but then it's getting much funner, but then I get soaked. That's the worst thing about it.
It's just because it's so slippy and you've got to look for the grip in the first 2 laps, and then if you don't find that right spot, it could be win or lose in just that 1 split second.
Despite the weather, the competition in the heats was intense amongst the drivers that were mastering the conditions. Number 23, Daniel Fields, and number 30, Daniel Amazigo, winner of this year's Spa Championship. One of the year's champions, Darryl Taylor, was in relaxed mood and continued to impress out on track as he picked up the second best set of results in the heats. The only driver to outscore him Number 34, Bailey Morgan, on course for pole position in the Shootout. So these are the drivers who made it through to the grand final at the end of the night, with Bailey Morgan, winner of Rye House's Ascari and McLaren championships, and Darryl Taylor, winner of the circuit's GT championship, going head-to-head from the front row of the grid. We'll see them in action later in the show, but our first race will be a look at the C final. One of the drivers taking part is Zayn Munir, who'll go from 6th on the grid.
So I just started, well, I've been doing it for a few years, but I just started this championships, and I've been coming around 6th and 7th. I got into the racing from just coming here every year, just having a good time.
Also in action, Jessica Argent, who we asked about the physical demands of driving these high-speed karts.
You do 15 minutes qualifying, which is just so you know what to do, make sure you know the race. And then when you're at the race, you're racing for 45 minutes. When you come off, you're like, and you get a little bit knackered, and if it's wet, you come out drenched, and the parents just laugh.
So this is how they line up. Number 22, Elliot Keeve, starts on pole position, with number 9, Josh Agambar, alongside. Row 2 comprises number 20, Nathan Burgandy, and number 38, Luke Mottram, with 25, Daniel Beckett, and 10, Zayn Munir, completing row 3. Karts on the grid then, all clear, ready to go for the race. From the standing start, a terrific getaway for Zayn Munir with the white helmet. From 6th on the grid, he's gone right up towards that lead group, and it's side by side for the lead through Stadium Bend. On the attack is Josh Agambar with a black helmet from 2nd on the grid. Kart number 9, he gets the lead of the race. The pole sitter Elliot Keeve with the white helmet. Number 22 is down to 2nd, way out wide for Luke Mottram. Number 38 with the black helmet, but he's up to 3rd place and now tags the back of Elliot Keeve. And then down the inside of him comes number 20 into a spin for Nathan Burgandy. He's absolutely furious. Oh, and then as he tries to get it going, to add insult to injury, he runs into Marco Taglialavor. There's 25, Daniel Beckett, and 15, Vinny Persky, on their way into Pylon Bend for the first time. Here's a replay of that incident, and Mottram tagging the back of Keeve was what slowed him in the first place, and then Burgandy came storming in at full speed, not expecting there to be a slow kart at that stage. There was contact, there was a spin, and there was a very unhappy number 20, Nathan Burgandy, who qualified in 3rd place. So your race leader there, making his way through Stadium Bend, is number 9, Josh Agambar. The chasing pack being led at the moment by number 22, Elliot Keeve. Lots of standing water out there now after a few hours of rain during the course of the heats. Surviving all the incidents was number 38, Luke Mottram, so he's still 3rd. At 4th, with a very good start from 6th on the grid, is Zayn Munir, number 10. And with the bright yellow suit, a very good start for Johnny Lawrence as well, number 36. He's gone from 7th up to 5th place. So those two on terms with the lead group as they make their way down towards Pylon Bend in these treacherous conditions. You can see the surface water, the standing water gathering at certain points of the circuit. There's 41, Marco Taglialavor, who's got going again after his spin at the start of the race. Onto the back straight, and you can see already Josh Agambar is beginning to pull a lead. There he's 2nd and 3rd, and lots of standing water even on the straights here on the way into the fastest corner of the lap. Stadium Bend then through here, but they have to be a little bit tentative in the dry. They'll be flat out into this corner, but in the wet, you have to be a little bit careful, and going all the way around the outside here is number 38, Luke Mottram, having a big go there, a big look to try and get 2nd place away from Elliot Keeve, because all the time he can see the race leader, Josh Agambar, getting away, and he wants to get on with this. And then in 4th place, on his own now, arrives number 10, Zayn Munir. So what's happened to number 36? That's Johnny Lawrence, who was right with him before, but has disappeared. It's close again here for 2nd place, and this is a move from Luke Mottram. He's drawn alongside, absolutely neck and neck, and then through the puddle splashes Elliot Keeve, and that will surely delay him as we look back to number 17, Jessica Argent, and number 11, Jake Wright, having a good little battle a bit further down the order. Fair play to the drivers. They're not complaining, they're just getting on with the business of racing. Some of them are even enjoying the conditions, particularly, I'd say, Josh Agambar. There he is, number 9, the race leader. A couple of seconds clear now. Who's arriving in 2nd place? 38, I thought he must have got through. It was Luke Mottram. And down to 3rd place then is Elliot Keeve, the pole sitter in the 22 kart. Catching them up in 4th place is number 10, Zayn Munir. Having shaken off now, Johnny Lawrence is free to go on the attack and try and get himself a podium spot. There's 15, Vinny Persky, and there is number 36, Johnny Lawrence. So he's down now to 8th place. So he must have had a moment somewhere. He was in that battle for 4th position. Back to this battle for third place, weaving and trying to dodge the puddles is number 22, Elliot Keeve. Right on his case now, though, is number 10, Zane Munir, who attacks down the inside on the way into Stadium Bend and gets through. So from 6th to 3rd now for the driver of kart number 10, having a terrific C final here at the Junior Shootout. Josh Agenbar, who's had things all his own way in this race so far after an excellent start, which saw him snatch the lead on the way through Stadium Bend. Meanwhile, what's this? Munir and Keeve arrive in 2nd and 3rd place. What has happened to Luke Mottram? There he is, number 38. He's behind Nathan Burgundy. He's dropped to the tail end of the top 6. So presumably a spin somewhere, and that's cost him a potential podium finish. The checkered flag awaits. There's only been one driver really in this race, and it's going to be a victory for Josh Agenbar, who clenches his fist and takes the checkered flag. Congratulations then to Josh Agenbar, who wins the C final ahead of Zane Munir and Elliot Keeve. Daniel Beckett was 4th, Luke Ottram set the fastest lap and was 5th, and Nathan Burgundy completed the top 6. Coming up after the break, action from the B final and the climax of the night as the top 15 drivers race wheel to wheel for the title of Junior Shootout Champion. Welcome back to Rye House Kart Raceway as we continue our coverage of the Junior Shootout. Amongst the various event partners that have helped to make the Junior Shootout happen is Bonington's Fine Art Auctioneers. Louise Munir told us about her involvement with the event.
Yeah, I mean, my son's been racing for the whole year and really happy to support the event. We love it down here. Actually, my uncle Paul used to race here when he was younger. My granddad had a kart here named after my nan back in the 50s, 60s, that sort of era. So yeah, we've got a long history with Rye House, and my son's been here racing this year, so I've been quite happy to support the event and support Rye House.
Amongst those that made it through to this stage, Ellie Faithful, who finished 6th in Rye House's Evo Championship this year.
What do your mates think about your racing?
I don't really know. I haven't asked them. Because I'm mostly friends with boys. I go, oh, yeah, you're all right, I'd beat you, but they've never seen me race, have they? So
it's nice to get one up on the boys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Like, I've got my friend Jack, and I'm best friends with him, but he still thinks he could beat me. But we've got to try, haven't we?
Also through to the B final, Teddy Stevens, runner-up in this year's Rye House Ascari Championship, and also 4th in their Spa Championship.
Yesterday was the first race I won, and I've been battling for a first whole season. I came 2nd most races, apart from one, and then I got the first on the last race, and it felt great.
It's the drivers ranked 16th to 30th from the heats who qualify then for this B final, and lining up on pole is number 13, Rohan Talwar. Number 2, Jack James, shares the front row with 29, Ollie Crowley, and 4, Rayan Razak on row 2. Here we go then, the B final underway. Rohan Talwar, number 13, from pole position with a black helmet on the way into Stadium Bend, but with a yellow Senna-esque helmet. It is a very good start for Jack James, who is challenging all the way around the outside. With the other yellow helmet is Ollie Walsh. He makes an excellent start as well. The conditions worsening here, but no problems through the first corners for the lead group. It's Talwar that leads into the first hairpin. Gets a little nudge though from Jack James from behind in 2nd place. There were 3 abreast as they made their way out of the first hairpin, and into the lead of the race goes Ollie Crowley with the white helmet there. 2nd place, it's Rohan Talwar. He is being nudged and bashed and battered, but he's still 2nd. 3rd place is Ollie Walsh, slipping back a couple then to 4th place as they went down into Parliament Bend for the first time. Was Jack James, who started on the front row of the grid. So from 3rd to 1st, it is Ollie Crowley that comes out of Complex Nouvelle and heads the pack into Paddock Bend for the first time. 2nd place there is Rohan Talwar, the pole sitter. 3rd is Ollie Walsh. And then down a couple more places, I reckon, for Jack James. He's lost more places down at Pylon, so he's out of that lead group now. And up with a very good start into 4th place is Jehan Kalicher, number 19. Kalicher has shot up from 9th to 4th, but now comes under attack around the outside into Stadium Bend goes Aaron Spendiv. And is he going to make the move? Stick, slides it through, drifts it into the corner, but yes, he's through. So number 1 then is up to 4th place. Number 19 at 5th place, but still gaining positions here is Jan Kalichern. And then you got number 16 in that group as well, Jack Brand. Then with the yellow helmet, number 2, Jack James, who's fallen out of the top 6 now after a bit of rough and tumble in the first lap of the race. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars all in a line here. Nobody has got away from anybody else in these conditions. There is number 31, Max Miners, trying to work his way up through the midfield here as they go into the soggy left-hander at Pylon Bend. The spectators braving the weather to enjoy some very good close racing here, particularly this battle for 2nd place. Somehow again, it is Rowan Talwar that fends off the very close attentions of Ollie Walsh there with the yellow helmet. And there's been a spin. That's number 1, Aaron Spendiff, or whether it was a spin or whether there was contact, but either way, he has dropped a lot of positions there from 4th place. Now, how about this? A 3-way battle it has become for 2nd place. 13, the pole sitter, Rowan Talwar, for the entire race, has had to fend off Ollie Walsh, number 27. Earlier on, he was having to fend off Jack James. Jack has come back up the order to join them now. He's in the 4th place. Number 18 in 5th position still is Archie Harmer. You've got Jack Brand up there in the mix as well. All still relatively close together, except for Ollie Crowley, the race leader, who's begun to get away now. There's number 12, Ellie Faithful, being chased by number 4, Rayan Razak. Rayan's had a difficult start to the race. He was 4th on the grid, but he's tumbled quite a long way down the order. There is then number 1, who is about to be lapped as we go into the last half lap of the race. Aaron Spendiff looks like he's leading. He's very quick, but actually it's the man behind that leads the race. Number 29, there he is, Ollie Crowley. In the last 2 or 3 laps has really got his head down. He's pulled away from the pack, and he is on course to win the B final. The checkered flag comes out, and it's number 29, Ollie Crowley, that wins the race. But what about 2nd? A late change. Ollie Walsh comes through. 2nd place for him. Well done then to our B final winner, Ollie Crowley. The runner-up spot goes to Ollie Walsh, and Rohan Talwar completes the top 3. Jack James finishes 4th, Archie Harmer 5th, and Jack Brand 6th. And so we're all set for the climax to the night and indeed the season, as our top 15 go head-to-head in the grand final for the Junior Shootout title. Bailey Morgan has qualified on pole after an excellent season here at Rye House.
Well, I've just won 2 championships in the Ascari and the McLaren, and it wasn't easy, but you had to fight through it.
Daniel Fields will be right behind him after qualifying 3rd, despite a bit of a moment in one of his heats.
It was actually quite good. I was 1st for most of the laps, and on the last lap I spun out a bit, so I came 2nd, but it's still good.
The heavens have absolutely opened here at Rye House, but we're all set now, ready for the grand final. It's the Junior Shootout here at Rye House. The race gets underway. Bailey Morgan on pole position, Daryl Taylor alongside him. 2 champions of the season go head-to-head here. Who is going to get to Stadium Bend first? Down the inside, it's the pole sitter Bailey Morgan. Oh, but he gets a tap then from Daniel Fields, sent way out wide, and coming off worse in all of that is Daryl Taylor, who drops down the pack. And we've got Bailey Morgan still defending for the lead of the race here. Trying to come around the outside of him is number 23, Daniel Fields. Jay Lawrence with the yellow helmet has made a good start to the race as well. And leading through the 2nd hairpin, somehow it's Bailey Morgan. Then out wide for 2nd and 3rd here. Good start from Sienna Gordon. Number 7 comes into the mix as well and splits the 2nd place battle. So she goes up to 3rd place as they splash their way down through Pylon Bend for the first time. It's a bit of a disastrous start this for Daryl Taylor, but it's his main rival Bailey Morgan that leads the way. In 2nd place from 3rd on the grid is Daniel Fields, number 23. Sienna Gordon has come from 6th place all the way up to 3rd position in the number 7 kart. We did have Jay Lawrence up there in the top 3 briefly, but he was sent out wide coming out of the 2nd hairpin, the outfield hairpin. Bailey Morgan, number 34, leading the way and actually pulling 2 or 3 lengths clear, look, on this lap. And 2nd place, look, it's number 24. Where did he come from? That, from 10th on the grid, is Alex Mikos. So he gets past now Sienna Gordon. With the orange helmet, Daryl Taylor, number 32, is back up to 4th. Back up to 5th place is Jay Lawrence, number 26. You've got Daniel Amazigo, number 30 there with the white suit and orange helmet, up in the top 6 as well. So it all means that Daniel Fields, number 23, has tumbled back somewhere down the order, somewhere into the pack, as they go through for the 2nd time through Pylon Bend. There is Jamie Tabra with his kart now working, but not ideal. The preparation for the start of this race. He's done well though to get through to what's been a very competitive final so far. The grand final here at the Junior Shootout, and look at this, squabbling here for the lead of the race. And storming through like a non-stop train is Alex Mikos. So from 10th to 1st in just a couple of laps, he leads the race here. Number 24, there he is. And down to 2nd place is Bailey Morgan. Here's a replay of the move which got him the lead of the race. And I tell you what, he made it look easy, but it was anything but. He just got great acceleration, great kart control coming onto the straight. Now this is Sienna Gordon coming under fire from a resurgent Daryl Taylor, who's got himself back up to 4th place. Can he be 3rd? He's down the inside at Stadium Bend. Behind the bushes they go. They're all ganging up on Bailey Morgan. It's 3 together here. Out wide goes Sienna Gordon. She fends off the attack. Then she gets through a huge puddle, but she's still 3rd. But Daryl Taylor now gets better drive. Got the inside line down into the hairpin, and there he goes. Daryl Taylor through to 3rd place. Sienna Gordon then having to battle and scrap here with Jay Lawrence to hold on to a position. So she goes back on the attack down the inside. Briefly back up to 2nd place. They both go out wide. Number 26, Jay Lawrence comes through. Number 30. He's coming through as well. That's Daniel Amazigo, and they're all bunched up together. But Sienna Gordon, they're really doing a great job to get her elbows out. There's number 5, Oscar Lucas, and just in front of him, 23, Daniel Fields coming back up the order now after his earlier spin. And look at this, 2 of the front runners out. Daryl Taylor with the orange and green helmet, and with a yellow helmet out as well for Jay Lawrence. Out on his own, he's number 24. I'll remind you, from 10th on the grid, Alex Mikos. Look how far clear he is as well. Who are we going to get in 2nd? Back to 2nd for Bailey Morgan, number 34. And up into 3rd place now for number 39, Max Mottram. He's come through all the carnage. In 4th place, you've got Daniel Amazigo as well, who must have been just behind that incident between Daryl Taylor and Jay Lawrence. And look at this, it's going to be another place gain. Through onto the back straight goes number 39, Max Mottram, to gain 2nd place. Just behind them in 5th place is number 8, George Plaster, who's had a really good drive from 11th on the grid, and then 6th. And flying after everybody as we go on to the last lap of the race is Daniel Fields. He qualified 3rd. He was in the 3rd place battle. He dropped back, we think, with a spin, but he's absolutely charging here and catching everybody up. Here they are, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Daniel Amazigo having another look at the end of the back straight, but he's not quite close enough this time, so 3rd still is Bailey Morgan, just at the head of that group. In 2nd place, number 39, Max Mottram. They all gang up on each other. It's going to be a grandstand finish between those guys, but way out front, and about to take the checkered flag is Alex Mikos. He accelerates out of the final hairpin. The checkered flag awaits, and he wins the Junior Shootout here at Rye House. What about 2nd place? It's going to go the way of Max Mottram, and then some contact further back, and Daniel Fields comes through to 3rd. Bailey Morgan demoted to 4th. Amazigo crosses the line in 5th, and George Plaster rounds out the top 6.
Well, firstly, I was starting in 10th, and then I think on the 3rd or 2nd lap, I overtook Bailey Morgan, and he was in 1st place. And then for the rest of the race, I was basically in 1st place, and also a bit nervous that I might spin out on the biggest corner.
Many congratulations then to our 2016 Junior Shootout champion, Alex Mikos, as the curtain closes on another fantastic season of racing here at Rye House. Thanks for watching.